Hola clase, vamos a aprender saber y conocer. So as I mentioned on the slide, if you want to put this in your actual libro de gramática, I would sneak it on the bottom of page 18 where you have the irregular yos. We actually already talked about the weird yos of each of these, but let's just go through the conjugations for the sake of argument. So we have two verbs, saber and conocer. Both of them mean to know, but they are used a little differently. So I'm going to put a little dividing line down the middle here. We use saber when we are talking about knowing a fact or a skill. So to know, fact, skill. Okay? And the conjugation is normal aside from that yo form. So if you look on your list, you should see that the yo form is say with an accent. That accent matters because it means something different if you don't have the accent. Um, and then after that, it's just a normal ER verb. Drop the ER, add ES, sabes, sabe, sabemos, sabéis, and saben. Normal ER verb. Okay? So when would you use this one? Well, if you're saying you know a thing. So I know that the US gained independence in 1776, for example. I would use this verb. Yo sé que que los Estados Unidos, I'm going to use the abbreviation here, ganó, which is past tense. You guys haven't learned that yet, but just go with me on this. Independencia en 1776. So that's a fact. I know that they did that. Okay. Another example might be a skill. So you guys know how to read some Spanish. So you could say, nosotros sabemos leer. Now, I know in English we would say we know how to read. You don't need the how in here for Spanish. You just say sabemos leer. We know to read. We know how to read en español. Okay? Facts or skills are saber. Good? Conocer you use mostly when you know a person when you know a person. I'm going to move this over so I have a little more space to write. The other use of this is if you know a place really well. So not like you know where a place is, but if it's a place you grew up in, a place you've spent a lot of time in, and you know that place like the back of your hand. You could literally paint me a mental word picture of that place. You would put conocer, okay? Your favorite restaurant, your hometown, these kinds of things, okay? So again, if you look at your weird yos, this one has a weird yo. The weird yo is conozco, Z-C-O. But after that, it's a normal ER verb. Conoces, conoce, conocemos, conoces, and conocen. Okay. Where it gets interesting is knowing how to use it. So you use this for, as I said, that you know people. So for example, if your friend Cindy or Sylvia, let's go Spanishy here. Sylvia conoce, knows your friend Jim or Jaime. Use conocer because it's a person. This is what we call a personal You have to put it in front of a name or a reference to a person if it's at the end of the sentence, if it's after the verb. Okay? Sylvia conoce a Jaime. All right? Again, you can also use this for a place you know really well. So, yo conozco Willard. I grew up in Willard, Ohio. I know Willard, Ohio very well. So I can put yo conozco Willard. Bien, you might put yo conozco Sycamore, yo conozco McCutcheonville, Sketch, yo conozco Tiffin. Okay? Now, this is not terribly complicated, as you can see. Saber, facts and skills. Conocer, people and places. The one thing that trips people up is that when I say you know a person, you know them. You could tell me things about them. They are a friend of yours. They are family, something of that nature. Okay? Not that you know a fact. So if question words are used in the sentence, if question words, things like who, where, it is a saber sentence. And the example I like to give for this one is if I ask you, who is the president of the United States? And you say, or if I say, do you know who the president of the United States is? ¿Sabes quién, who es el presidente de Estados Unidos? If I ask you this question, I'm asking you for a fact. I'm saying, do you know the name of this person? I know you don't know him or her. You are not friends with him or her. I'm asking you for a simple fact. What is their name? Okay? Do you know who this person is? Okay? Just because I'm giving a person as an answer, or just because I say who this is, that doesn't mean I know them. I don't know them as a person. I just know their name. Okay? Same thing with like a place. If I say, I know where, um, or let's say I say, they know, ellos saben dónde está Cedar Point. I'm saying they know where it is. Now, they're not like going to give you a tour of Cedar Point ride by ride. and tell you all the history of Cedar Point, but they could tell you, oh, you go to Sandusky, you turn on this street, da 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 da. They can give you information about it. So saber is informational knowing, it's facts and skills. Conocer is that more deep knowing people, places. All right, and you should be ready for some practice and then your homework. You are going to need to be able to conjugate all these verbs. So if you're shaky on your conjugations, you might want to keep them handy. Otherwise, if you have questions, por favor, pregúntame. Otherwise, buena suerte y adios.